Hi. The microphone is out, which means, in case anyone's wondering, an old school sit-down YouTube video, which are some of my favorites. I also have a tea with me. I'm sitting in my little nook room corner. I'm surrounded by my books and my piano, which is obviously just my favorite place to be. And I've been wanting to film a video like this for so long, and so I thought, hey, just film it. And that is the, I suppose, like wellness hacks that I actually saw results with, because I feel like there is so many. Try this and this will happen. And I put turmeric on my face and it cleared my skin. And I feel like when you're wanting to prioritize your health or fix a certain thing, you believe anything and you'll try anything. And I have been there. I have tried my fair share of wellness hacks, routines, everything. And obviously I'm not a health professional in any means, but I wanted to sit down and chat a little bit about my health and fitness, I suppose, journey, and then chat about the 7 wellness hacks that I've actually seen real results with. Like, they're not, oh, maybe I see results with, like, no, I've seen real results with, which, hey, I'm not going to say they are 1000% going to work for you. But for me personally, these things actually worked, and I thought we could sit down and chat. So grab yourself a little tea, or I don't know, if you're getting ready or something and I'm just like on in the background, it's my favorite place to be. But the things I have struggled the most with so far in my 25 years of life is skin and acne, sleep, food. Had a bit of a journey there. I suppose kind of just like exercise and overdoing certain things, and throwing hormones and making skin worse, and sleep and all of the things. I feel like I have things to chat about, you know what I'm saying? And I also wasn't planning to wear these glasses, and then I just put them on because they're kind of scary. I'm not too sure. When I showed them in a vlog, a few people were like, they look so good on you, and that really hyped me up. So now I'm like, maybe I can be confident in them, but I also am a bit like, so if you hate them, I'm sorry. I'm going to put my tea down. I feel like I'm going to group them together. The first hack or hacks involve sleep. I remember sharing a while ago that I used to struggle with quite bad insomnia. The amount that I experienced, which was maybe 4 to 6 months of insomnia, was awful. Like, I just couldn't function, and it wasn't a great time in my life, but it did make me look so much more into my sleep and sleep hygiene, and it definitely made me rewire my whole nighttime routine in order to have the best night's sleep. I've also got my list on my laptop, so I'm just going to pop it here, and if I'm like looking down, that's why. The first hack, I suppose you would say, surrounds sleep, and it's called the 3-2-1 rule. We're going to go deep into a sleep chat today, so bear with me here. It gets deeper. But I remember hearing the 3-2-1 rule, and when I was in the depths of not being able to sleep, so I was like, I'm gonna try anything. I tried this, which is the 3-2-1 rule, and it basically means 3 hours before bed, no eating. 2 hours before bed, no drinking. Water, tea, anything, even sleepy time teas, and then no phone or technology or anything 1 hour before bed. So it's like 3, 2, 1. I think I just gave you the root finger. It's just like a fun way to remember it, because it's like, okay, 3, 2, 1. Like, what am I doing for the 3, 2, and then the 1? And I think the kind of reasoning behind it, and again, I'm not a health professional, so take everything I say with a grain of salt, but I think the kind of reasoning behind it is because your body is putting so much effort into digesting and all of that kind of thing. It can't fall into a deep sleep, or like, I don't know, restorative state of sleep when it's still digesting. And then the 2 hours no drinking before bed, which was huge for me because I was waking up, I don't know, like if this was a bladder thing, I think it was a bladder thing, but I was waking up 1 to 2 times a night just to pee, and then it would take me so long to fall back asleep again. And so I was just like breaking up my sleep. So I think the 2 hours before bed, I do that every single night, and I don't need to pee throughout the night, which is incredible. So I'm not waking up and being disturbed, all that kind of stuff. And then the no phone and technology before bed, kind of self-explanatory. I just feel like your mind, or at least my mind, stays so awake when I'm on my phone, and just kind of like, I don't know, you're not really thinking. And whenever I'm like constantly playing a YouTube video or a podcast or music or something before bed, even just scrolling, I feel like then when I get into bed, it's like, okay, this is the first time my mind has heard silence for hours, maybe all day. And so it's like, okay, now I can think. I feel like giving yourself that hour before bed of no phone, no technology is so good to just like get all your thoughts out. If you have so many thoughts before bed, you know, maybe have a journal, gets those thoughts out. I personally read. Reading has changed my sleep. Just in general, that's not one of my sleep hacks, but I get off my phone, I put my brown noise on. I have so many cues that tells my body, hey, time to sleep. Okay, I'm getting distracted by the glasses. I keep looking at the viewfinder, which is so annoying, so I'm gonna take them off. But yeah, that 3-2-1 rule has been life-changing for me, and I have actually noticed a change in my sleep because I'm not waking up, falling asleep easier, but also reading before bed. I'm going off on a side tangent, but reading is amazing because if you can't shut your brain up like I can't, reading is like you're in the characters, and then all of a sudden you can't keep your eyes open anymore, and then you're asleep. And that's the science behind it. My next sleep hack is almost like creating a sleep hygiene, sleep routine. Every single night I do it without fail, because it's just like, it's giving my body the cue that it is time to wind down. So this is kind of like a myriad of things. I'm not sure if that's the right word I've just used. Trying to watch the sunset, so it's like even if I'm inside and I just walk outside into my backyard and I just kind of like stare at the sky and be like, okay, body, understand that the sun is going down. It is slowly time to start winding down. My red lamp, I can leave it below. I'll link to it below. It's just from IKEA. It's just like a changing light bulb, and then it's like a little like sphere over it. So it looks really cute as well. Red light before bed, I chuck it on, and that I've heard, again, not a professional, but red light is such a relaxing light because, and this is crazy, it mimics what we saw in our mother's stomachs when we were in the womb. Isn't that crazy? What do you mean I'm like trying to create the space of when I was literally in the womb to go to sleep? But hey, every single night without fail, my red lamp is going on. I spray my magnesium spray on my feet. I lie in bed, and this is a bit crazy. So like, please bear with me, but I do my somatic exercises. Yeah, I'll put a definition of what somatic exercises are on the screen. The first time I did them, I genuinely was like, I've been drugged. Yawning, and I was like so sleepy instantly. And apparently that is because we used to be rocked to sleep as children, as babies. Yeah. So basically, I'm just trying to create a sleep routine that mimics what I was when I was a baby. But hey, it works. So I will continue doing it. Once that's done, pick up my Kindle, I'll read, and then I'll usually turn my red light off, just keep reading until I fall asleep. And I kid you not, I've now got an Oura ring, so I get sleep scores every single day. It's more common for me to be in the 90s sleep score, which is like something that myself a couple of years ago would have been like, that's not me. That could never be me. It's me, and I just don't struggle with sleep anymore. I'm not saying that this is going to like cure insomnia or anything like that, but if you do struggle with sleep, things to try. Okay, next we have one that sounds like you're going to be like, oh, really? But just again, bear with me. Walking. Yeah, I feel like we've heard everyone say that, especially after meals. Again, I feel like, I'm not sure if everyone's heard this, but I feel like I have heard this like driven home. And I was always like, why does my skin and my digestion, everything feel so good on holiday? Whenever I'm traveling, my skin clears and everything just feels so good. What am I doing other than being relaxed? So like, biggest health hack of them all, just don't stress. So hope this helps. But it's because I've come to the conclusion, when you travel, you walk everywhere. After eating specifically, you're getting up out of the restaurant and you're going for a walk to your next location or whatever. And so I started doing that at home maybe like 6 months ago. Started doing it, and I don't even like most of the time go for a proper walk. I'll just do housework for 10 minutes, and I found such a massive change in my skin and just, yeah, my digestion. Like, it just feels like it's actually, and it makes sense because you're like getting up, getting moving, getting your blood flowing, and it does things for blood sugar and balancing all of that out. And it's just walking just in general for mental health, just like getting outside and getting fresh air is like the best thing I ever do. Like, it's like the highlight of my day. 10-minute walk after eating or just doing housework gets you up, gets you moving. And I've just found the biggest difference, because it's so easy, I feel like for me at least, to sit all day, to eat and then sit. It doesn't feel right. Like, I feel like that's not what our bodies are supposed to be doing. So even if it's just like a couple of laps of wherever you are, like, it's just kind of like getting you up and getting things flowing and moving. The next is something that when I initially heard of it, I was like, I'm so excited to try it. Like, I'm so down to try it, because I'm down to try basically anything. And that is taking sea moss every morning and every night. A tablespoon every morning and every night. I discovered sea moss, I want to say maybe a year ago now, maybe just over a year. And I was taking it maybe like a couple times a week. And then my doctor, when I went and saw my doctor, she was like, have you heard of sea moss? And I was like, oh my gosh, well, actually I do have some in my fridge. And she was like, the minerals specifically are going to be incredible for your body. I'll pop exactly what sea moss is on the screen if you haven't heard of it. She was like, take it in the morning and take it in the night, like a tablespoon. I was like, say less. So there are good and bad ones, which she did tell me. I also found an amazing brand in Australia, which I can go get actually. Wow, you're just coming with me to my fridge. This is sea moss. I talked about this in my favorites video at the beginning of the year, and I was talking about the blue one and the OG one. I'm feeling awkward. This specific sea moss is called the Glow State, which is a Women's Harmony sea moss, and it is actually my sea moss. Nature's Pharmacy, which is the brand of the sea moss that I've always taken, basically came to me a little bit ago and were like, we know how much you love the sea moss. We would love to create a specific blend that would be your ideal kind of sea moss, create a product together. And this is it. And I can finally share it. And it's been so hard to share. I've got so many tubs. I'm staring at them on my bench of just me finishing jars, finishing so many jars. But it is finally launched. I will link it below if anyone wants to check it out. Even on here, it says that just sea moss in general helps with gut health, immunity, energy, focus, and inflammation in the body. This specific blend, I suppose you could say, specifically supports hormones, cycle health, and radiant skin as well. Like, okay, dream product. I'm sure probably a few of you have seen it on TikTok. I feel like everyone was posting sea moss was helping with their skin and making their digestion so much better. I could not agree more. And it's also just so fun to have. I'm really bad at describing flavors, but it's kind of like a lemony berry and it's like a jelly texture, and I just genuinely I like taking it in the morning and in the night. I love it so much, and I can't believe that this is my collaboration with the brand. Like, what do you mean? Isn't it beautiful? I had to share because it's literally launched today. When you're watching this, it's tomorrow for me, it's today for you, and I'm nervous and I'm excited, and if you're interested or curious, it'll be linked below and you can kind of read up a bit more about sea moss. But yeah, I can't believe it. Okay, let me just pop it back in the fridge. You can also buy the sea moss online and then get it delivered if you'd want to. Anyway, I'm going to stop raving about sea moss because I love it. It's we get it. Next, actually, I'm going to have a sip of my tea. Next wellness hack is one again that I shared in my favorites video at the beginning of the year, and that is, well, kind of either or, both. LED light therapy. For anyone who struggled with skin, I'm sure you've probably heard of it. I was skeptical, very skeptical. I was getting some red light therapy at my facial place that I get my facials at, and I was noticing quite a bit of a difference in my skin, and I was like, is this the red light? And I was talking to my facialist and I was like, I would love to get one of those at home ones. Do you trust them? Do you actually think they work? Because I was like, you're the best person to ask. And she said that the Omnilux one, which is the one I ended up buying, was one that she has seen so many amazing results with her clients. And so I was like, I'll do it. I was so skeptical because I was like, how is this going to help my skin? It's light. It's literally light. I cannot even tell you how much it improved my skin. And even just if my skin is inflamed, I'll do that. So much calmer. I'm genuinely still shocked. I'm almost like it's placebo, but I'm like, no, I've seen such a massive change in my skin long term. At the beginning I was doing every second day. Now I do every 2 to 3 days, maybe, just for 10 minutes. Sometimes I'll have a pimple pop up and I'll pop it on. I can have all of these things that I chat about, if there are specific products, linked below as well, but I'll pop it on. Usually a pimple would last a few days for me, those red ones. I swear it's just so much less the next day, and then the next day it's kind of gone, and I'm like, what? How is light doing that? So I definitely don't think all LED is kind of the same. Maybe some are scams and they don't work at all, but I've had only a great experience with the Omnilux one. And then every probably couple of months I'll go in and get they have a machine that goes over your face, and I fall asleep every single time. It's so relaxing. I literally, my Oura ring's did you just nap? And I'm like, yep, I did. Incredible. Sometimes they put me under a blue light and then a red light. It's just, I've seen some incredible results with my skin. So I just wanted to share because I feel it's one of those hacks that you're it's light. Is it going to do anything? And maybe it won't for you. I don't want to make any promises, but for myself, it's done some crazy things. Okay, next is reducing caffeine. Specifically, I'm sure a few of you could see this coming, switching coffee for matcha. Matcha still has caffeine and can still have quite a bit of caffeine depending on how strong you like it, but it has an amino acid in it called L-theanine, I think that's how you pronounce it, which can reduce stress and anxiety and acts as a bit of a relaxant. Plus, matcha is just high-powered green tea, so you're getting so many benefits from matcha. I even saw something that said that matcha clears your skin or can help clear your skin, which again, I'm not making any promises, and I wouldn't say it's cleared my skin, but all I've noticed that since switching from coffee to matcha, I never get jitters anymore. I'm never anxious from caffeine. I can feel it giving me energy, but it's just such a different energy. It's not this anxiety, kind of energy. It's I don't know, it's just more of a relaxed energy. I've definitely noticed a change in my skin as well from drinking coffee to now only mostly drinking. I still love coffee, but instead of having 1 to 2 coffees a day, having matcha instead, I've noticed a massive change specifically in my skin, which is kind of crazy because I didn't start drinking it for skin benefits. Also, obviously, I've got to do it, but make sure you're drinking a good quality matcha powder. So it's that bright green. I will have my favorite one linked below. I'm convinced nothing will top it. It's from Japan, obviously, first harvest. Bright green, it's creamy, it's flavorful, it's perfect. So I'll link below the one I use because I think it's the best. Last but not least, I'm having such a good time. I feel I could just sit here and chat all day. You're probably wrap it up. But the last little health hack that I found such an improvement in just overall health is soreness, which I know is not anything crazy. Maybe should have prefaced at the beginning, this is nothing crazy. I feel I've just tried so many things at this point for my health that I have my kind of go-tos that actually I have noticed a difference in and that I have actually seen results with that are just kind of on my rotation that I'll probably do at least once a week. You know what I mean? I'm doing one of these things once a week, and they're things that I would never stop doing. And I feel that's kind of the proof's in the pudding. There are so many amazing benefits to saunas, but specifically what I've noticed the most is my skin. Most of these may be skin related because that's been one of the biggest health struggles I suppose I've had over the years. When I'm doing regular infrared saunas specifically, but I dabble in them all, my skin improves so much. It's crazy. And it makes sense. Like, you're sweating out the things that your body doesn't want. And I just feel so good after a sauna. I don't even know all the benefits. If I'm coming down with a cold or not feeling very well, feeling run down, if my skin's breaking out, first place you'll see me, sauna. I had like this tiniest bit of a sore throat earlier this week, and it just was like staying around for a couple of days. I did a sauna, next day, gone. And like, I was doing other things. So I'm not trying to say like it cured me, but like it feels good. The infrared, they have like different lights that do different things, that target different things. And so I'll usually put on some sort of like nervous system regulating thing, because maybe that should have been I feel like this video could be hours long. Should I make it the 8 health hacks that I've actually seen results with? Because regulating my nervous system, which I'm still doing, wow, I didn't even realize my nervous system wasn't regulated. And I was like, I'm so stressed all the time. And then I'm like having all of these health side effects from it. Yeah, something to look into. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up here because I did want this to kind of be like a sit down, short and concise, but like none of my videos are ever short and concise. So what was I really expecting here? But I hope you got maybe some value out of this video. Again, I really want to preface that I know that I'm not a professional. And when it comes to health things, it's always the right idea to go seek a professional. But this channel is just where I share my personal experience of life, and all of these health, wellness, hacky things I've actually seen results with, because it's so overwhelming when there are so many thrown around all the time. But if this video is something that some of you would like to see more of, I could definitely probably do a part 2, because there's like things that I could get more specific about. But I just kind of wanted to do like my top 7 that I'll do, if not daily, weekly, that I will never stop doing, because I'm like, I couldn't go back to feeling the way I did before doing these things. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you so much for watching. If you've gotten to this point, it does kind of feel like, I don't know, I'm having like, okay, no one cares moment. Yeah, I feel like there's just, when you talk about health, there's so, like, you're opening up this huge can of worms, and I feel like there's so much more to say, but I just wanted to be brief. I'm not sure how brief I was. So I hope even if you didn't get value, you maybe just enjoyed sitting here watching. Thank you just for watching and clicking on this video. I love you all very much, and I will see you next week.